Hello everyone, how you doing today? I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an Xbox 360. This one is a model number, it's an 1439, and in this video I'm gonna show you guys how to take it apart and how to do your own service and repaste or maintenance for these models. They're really simple and not too hard to do. Alright, so let's get started. The tools that you're gonna be needing, it's first off is a working towel or workshop towel. We're gonna be using one or two sheets of these ones, and we're gonna be working on top of this one, as it might be really dirty, so we don't know what we're gonna be expecting underneath. We are gonna be using alcohol, 95% plus isopropylic alcohol. You're gonna use your favorite thermal paste. You can use Arctic MX4, which is really good, or you can go a little crazy and get the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut, which are one of the best. All right, and you will need a screwdriver set. I'll use the UFIXTEK tool set kit, as they have all the bits that you need. Also, these bits are S2 class steel. That means they're really tough in steel and it will last you much longer period of the time. All right, and you will need a really old tweezers, flat screwdriver, and a pointy screwdriver. They're gonna be needed probably, depending the situation that we're gonna be facing. All right, first thing first, we're gonna remove the covers on the sides. Let's start by where it's the external hard drive, by pulling these triggers to the back and removing the cover. If there's an external hard drive, just pull it out. Next, we're gonna remove this top cover by there with a pointy screwdriver. Just stick it in between the fans and lift it up and just wiggle it around. It should come out pretty easy. So there are a few clips only. Also, you will need a toothbrush, old toothbrush or new one. Now we're gonna work on the other side, same thing. We're gonna stick it right on the bottom and then lift up the side cover. To remove these covers, you will need to stick I'm talking about this side. This is the front end, this is the back end. I'm gonna stick this one right close to the edge. So stick it right there, and with a fingernail, I'm gonna point it right here. I'm gonna lift it up slowly, gently, and it comes up very slightly. So I'll leave my finger there so it won't go back down. And I'm gonna do the same thing on here on this side. Stick it there. There's a little clips that we want to loose up. So we got these two sides loose up. I'm pulling them up. I'm doing this side. Now let's do the last front side. And that's it. So pretty much you want to get an idea what we did there. We try to loose up these clips. So by pressing down, put this to one side. By going through here, I'm pretty much going right there, and I'm twisting this one inward so I can loose them up. So that's what happens. So in here, if you look down there, so I stick it right there and then I just twist it so I loosen up the clips. All right, once we have the side clips, this one we gotta work on the other side. We're gonna do the same thing on here. We're gonna start from the front panel, front side. We're gonna try to loosen up that one. This one over here. This one here. There's nothing on this two, so you have to skip that. These two, and there's one is hitting this sneaky one right over here at the back. So I'm gonna flip it over so you guys can see where they are located. So there are 1, 2, 3, and 3 on the other side. Once we remove those, now there's two options to remove this side by the USB port. In this side, it's very simple. All you need to do is with your finger just pull these two apart with one hand, and those two clips you just want to lift it up slowly while you pull it up, and you should see them getting apart. Bring it over, overlap them so they don't go back down, so it stays like that. Now we're gonna work on this side. Again, we can twitch them apart, and at the end there's a tiny clip. We can open up that one, but there's one more all the way back down, which is on this side. So pretty much what I do, the easiest way is once I loosen up the first clip right here, is loosen up. I'm gonna come here, make a tiny hole right at the height of the RCP, little up and little 1 millimeter down. There's a tiny hole in the pinhole. It does actually exist, it's under the cover. You just have to find it and just punch through it. And while I'm pushing away, I'm just pressing on it, and it will just press directly right in the middle of this one here. So the pinhole at the back here is to unlock this hook right here. And we already did this one manually from the other side. All right, now we're gonna put it down and we're gonna lift it up, and that's the top cover. Now down here, we're gonna grabbing torque number 10, and we're gonna start removing the black flat round ones. The screws, these are the really long screws. So we're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. There should be in total. One in the middle. You might have a warranty label over this one, so remove the warranty label to access this one. Remove the side ones. Remove the one on this side. All right, now we can actually flip it upside down, hold it nicely, and go ahead and lift up the cover on. Oh, before we do that, I forgot what I when I record. We need to remove the Wi-Fi board. On one side, remove the screw right here. It's very hard. So remove this screw right there and pull out the Wi-Fi board, which is a USB some kind. Now we can lift up the cover, unless I forgot a screw, and yes I did. So as I said, there was a 5 of them. I'm missing one right here. So remove the 5th one. Now we can go ahead and remove the top cover, bring it up, pull the front panel gently, not too much forward, and release this cover. So it comes with a shielding. So now the important one is in here in the front cover with this cable that has a little flex cable, so bring it gently. That cover fall off. It shouldn't fall off, but let's put it back together so you guys know how to take this one apart. To remove this flex cable, you have to first untangle this neck protector right there, and then you want to pull this one forward 1 centimeter, and then you can just remove this one. So pretty much the blue part is just to not let it go back. So yeah, I'll push it back here. So this is the front panel. Now down here we have the fan. We have the DVD drive. We're gonna remove the DVD drive simply by lifting it up, bring it over, and we're gonna disconnect the cable at the back. Just pull it out, and the SATA cable. So that's the DVD drive. Just put it to one side. No need to open it. Down here we got the cover for the fan. Just lift it up gently. If you want to just blow some air through it, that's as far as you should go. But if you want to do a repaste, keep watching. Somebody open this one and try to put it back together, and look at the screw is all crooked right inside there. So don't be this guy. Alright, this is the onboard 4 gig hard drive. You can simply lift it up. That's a 4 gig onboard. Now we need to remove few more screws on the other side. Before that, let's go to the back end and remove this screw right here. Alright, now we can put it upside down. We're gonna remove all the screws. We're gonna leave these 4 screws, black ones for the end. You can grab a marker and just mark it S for short, L for long, and tiny one for T. And the tiny one are torque number 8. Remove the tiny black ones right there. Now we are gonna remove the front panel by removing 2 screws. They are the same screws at the back, tiny screw. So this is the sync and power on button, and then lift it up from the middle, so from the USB side. So don't yank it from this side, otherwise you're gonna bend it. Lift it from the jack. Now we can simply just go ahead and lift up this part up, disconnect the SATA cable from the board, and disconnect this yellow cable jack. That's for the caddy for the external hard drive. You can go ahead and disconnect the power jack for the fan. And now we are gonna lift up this cover here. This is support for the DVD drive. Next, you wanna grab by the fan and lift up the front end, pull this one to the back, so those tiny clips here don't get stuck under this cover, and bring it slightly towards yourself. That's the bottom tray. Remove the bottom tray. Now we have the fan and the bottom tray. We already disconnected the fan, so we need to just, there's something in here wobbling. Yeah, there's something loose, probably a fan or something. Anyway, so we're gonna flip it over. Now we're gonna remove this X clamp. There are two ways of removing: grabbing this pointy screwdriver and stick it right at the back of the X clamp. They are pretty much the hook that goes around this support. So pretty much I'm just sticking it right there and letting it loose. Same thing here. And sometimes randomly it just comes out. And just bring it to a support and it should eventually come out. So pretty much you can see these are tiny hooks. There's a key for it to open it. I'll try to find the link for it for those hook openers. But yeah, next you want to flip it upside down the normal position. And now you want to hold the motherboard and push it towards the table, and it should separate itself from the CPU and GPU. Now to clean it up, you need a piece of working towel. You need alcohol. You want to soak it in alcohol. Spray a little on top. Remember, this alcohol is not conductive. And you just want to wipe nice amount. First, flip it inside out the towel and clean it nicely. And do the same thing for the heatsink. Clean it up nicely. You can take the heatsink outside and use a toothbrush to clean it up. Air compressor to clean up the fans and everything like that. Once you clean it up, you want to grab your thermal paste. I will do the X way. Just do an X right on top. X right on top. Once you do the X right on top, make sure the cable is facing the jack right there so you don't put it the other way around. And bring it over, align it, put it on, grab the motherboard and just sandwich it, hold with your hand like that and flip it upside down. Put the fan side down. Grab the hook. I'm holding with one hand so it's not moving. Grab the hook on one of them, one of the legs, and bring it straight over. Make sure it's looking down straight on the other one, and with your thumb just press it down. Same thing in here. When you press it down, don't worry about it, just go back on it. Press real hard on it. And if the hooks don't hook up on them, don't worry about it. There's a technique for it. Just grab this one here and a screwdriver, just put it there and just push it a little bit that way so it just balances itself. Just like that. Once we put the cover, you're just going to screw it down so it won't come out. Once you repaste, grab the bottom case, which is this one over here. Go ahead and plug in the fan if you want to right now. Grab it by the heatsink, plug in the back end of the board in 45-degree angle, bring them down. Make sure it aligns nicely in there, and then slide them all the way down to the board. Make sure it goes nicely flat. There's a tiny plastic in here. This plastic has to show up from this side. Always move it around a little bit to just get that plastic showing from the other side. Grab the hard drive tray, plug in the cable. It only goes in one way. Okay. It is this way. Bring these two other cables on top. Lay down the caddy. I call this a caddy. It's a hard drive caddy. Set it down. Now let's go ahead and put one screw for this one, which is at the back end right here. So align it, make sure the screw hole sees it. So that thing starts moving around and holds it in place right there. Grab the stabilizer, whatever you want to call this, for the DVD drive. Just bring it over, align it, make sure this hook goes right in there. Hook it right on this side, hook it right there, and there we go. Grab the front panel contact and slide it in there. Next, you want to grab the 4 gig drive or whatever you have in here. Just push it down, just snap it on place. Grab the DVD drive, hold it in the air first, and put the power contact. Just slide it right there and grab the SATA cable and slide it right in there. And then pretty much set it down over right over there. Now we're gonna put the two black screws on the front panel. I was in the right bit. Alright, once you got that one in there, go ahead and put the cover with a metal mesh on top. Just bring and make sure this whole thing has to cover this one. Oh, hold on a second, I forgot this cover over here. First place this one here. This is for the airflow controller. Make sure this one here has to sit flush and it's supposed to show up from the bottom side. So you gotta keep moving it around until you see this pick right here. This dent comes from here, so move this one around so it sits nicely flat right here. So this plastic has to show up and this plastic has to show up, these two plastics. Alright, now we can go ahead and put the top cover. Make sure the mesh, circle mesh, has to be on top of the fan. Bring it over and just push it down. Look on the side, make sure these grails, they are hugging from outside. Alright, now we're gonna sandwich it off, put it upside down. And first we're gonna start with the 4 screws on the CPU X clamp. So go ahead and put this one on. Alright, now next we're gonna switch to put this bit back, we're not gonna use it. Torque number 10. We're gonna put the shortest screws first. Alright, now we're gonna put the longest screws. You're gonna grab the Wi-Fi board and place the Wi-Fi board in there. And put the screw for the Wi-Fi board. Now before we put anything, we're gonna put the bottom cover. So the big huge bottom cover comes on top. At the back side, you're gonna focus, make sure it goes straight in place, and just gonna squeeze them, make sure those clicks. And now on the front side, we're gonna grab it in a position that we can work at. So I'll put it on this position. And be careful with this flex cable, you don't want to rip it apart. So bring it close with one hand. First open up this lock, so by pulling this gray thing forward a little bit. Make sure it only goes in one way, so the blue plastic shiny, it has to look the front. Stick it right underneath, all the way in, and lock it in place and squeeze it in there. And put the hanger, whatever you want to call it, over. And now you want to bring it over, align it, and then you want to push it towards the bottom case. Just squeeze them down and it should click in place. And there we go. Now this part is really simple. This part that has a hard drive is the one with a big huge hole right here. Align it on top and squeeze it down. Grab this part, squeeze it down, stick down the hinge side, push it down, flip it over, Grab this side, this cover that is not be able to see through. You have to cover the Wi-Fi. Put it over and squeeze down. And grab this cover. 2 hinges, 2 hole, 1 hinge, 1 hole right in the front. So it's obvious. Squeeze down, and that's it. And that's how you open and repaste your Xbox 360 models. And you see if there's any opening, just squeeze them down. Again, if you guys like this video and helped you guys out, please click that like button and think about subscribing. It really helps and motivates me to make more videos for you guys. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.